リングが答えを出してくれるでしょう。
これでいいんだな。
This scene has bugged me ever since the Dark Side of Dimensions movie came out, revealing how Bakura and his father actually obtained the Millennium Ring, as it was already established in the anime and the manga that his father got the Millennium Ring from a flea market in Egypt.
千年リングと1枚のカードをお土産として買ってきてくれたんだ。父さんにリングとカードを売った男が闇の世界の住人だったんだ。
Now in this scene, Bakura is clearly telling Yugi and his friends that his father came across a market where he sees a merchant who is selling the Millennium Ring. Now the common theory is that it was a cover story of what truly happened in the Dark Side of Dimensions. However, I'm not fully happy with this resolution. Let me explain. If you really look at this scene, the character playing Bakura's father seems like a completely different person. Now this person is younger and also has blue hair, which is an odd choice since Bakura's hair is white. Now in the Dark Side of Dimensions, Bakura's father has pure white hair in a similar style to Bakura. Now something else that bothers me are the extra details added in the story. As you saw from the clip, Bakura didn't just say his father got the Millennium Ring, full stop. But he added all his extra details surrounding it. For example, he mentioned a Yugioh card, which was a 7-armed fiend. Now in the anime, we see this creature being very weak, a 1-starred monster with 666 attack. Now we do know something else that is represented by 666. Which is the devil. Now we don't actually get to see the full power of this card or a payoff later on in the anime. However, we do get to see this card in the Capsule Monster arc, and it was able to infiltrate Yugi's dreams and also affect the Millennium Puzzle, which must mean it's another creature created by Zork or even a part of Zork itself. Not only this, Bakura also goes to the trouble of mentioning that the merchant was from the Dark World. Now I think there's too many extra details to this story for it to be false, to be honest. Now let me tell you a timeline of events of how I think things went down, because I don't think Bakura lied to us. Well, not completely anyway. It actually all started with a love story between Pegasus and Cecilia. Pegasus met Cecilia as they were kids when they were 10 years old. Now at the age of 17, they were about to get married. However, Cecilia passed away due to an unknown illness. So Pegasus, who is now 17, goes to explore Egypt and the afterlife as a way to bring back Cecilia. Now in the Duelist Kingdom arc, Pegasus is 24 years old and Bakura is only 16 years old, meaning that there is an 8-year gap between the two. Now this is where things get interesting, because we know Pegasus travels to Egypt and meets Shadi, and after getting accepted by the Millennium Trial, receives the Millennium Eye, still at the age of 17, meaning whilst this is happening, Bakura is 9 years old. So this all occurred way before Bakura and his father is seen in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, where we actually see a glimpse of the Millennium Stone and we see that the Millennium Eye is missing. I think Bakura's father takes a visit to Egypt as an archaeologist similar to Arthur Hawkins, searching to uncover the mysteries of ancient Egypt. Now his travels bring him across a merchant. Now this merchant offers Bakura's father the 7-armed fiend card. This card is evil and has possessed the merchant, which is why we see the merchant being portrayed with red eyes and is claiming to be from the Dark World, because that is where Zork is from. Now the merchant's role for Zork is to find the true owner of the Millennium Ring, so he hands a 7-armed fiend over to Bakura's father, which means that Bakura's father is now possessed by Zork via the 7-armed fiend card. Now the merchant then proceeds to give him the Millennium Ring. However, this part is really important. Before the merchant could give him the Millennium Ring, the merchant gets chased away and is called a thief, as he had stolen the Millennium Ring. Now the merchant runs away, taking the Millennium Ring with him. At this point, Zork's hold on the merchant has transferred over to Bakura's father, so the thief is aware that he stole the Millennium Ring, but it wasn't him who was in control. Now the mysterious guards chasing the thief eventually catch up to him. However, he runs past a 17-year-old boy named Pegasus, who was also in Egypt searching for a way to bring Cecilia back. Now as the thief falls to the ground, he drops the Millennium Ring, just long enough for Pegasus to catch a glimpse. Now Pegasus has done a lot of research into ancient Egypt, and he realized that that item looked similar to his research. So as the guards took the thief to an underground secret area in the depths of Kul Elna, where the Millennium items were created in the first place, well, Pegasus follows them and comes across Shardy, who puts the thief under the Millennium Trial, where he allows the thief to wear the Millennium Ring. However, as the thief is no longer under Zork's control, he dies in the most gruesome way possible, as the Millennium Ring deems the thief unworthy. And as Pegasus puts it in the manga, he died instantly, vomiting flames. Now soon after, Pegasus receives the Millennium Eye. I think the fact that a simple thief was able to steal the Millennium Ring under the nose of Shardy without the help of Zork seems very unlikely, which just adds to my point. Now let's head back to Bakura's father. Bakura's father is in possession of the 7-armed fiend and now a puppet of Zork. As it starts to infect him, he saw a glimpse of the Millennium Ring, and before he could lay his hands on it, the thief was chased away. However, as he tried to catch up to the thief had disappeared without a trace. However, the Millennium Ring became his one and only obsession. He even tells his son about this story, Bakura, which is what I believe Bakura shared with his friends in the anime. However, the only detail he lied about was the fact that the market was where his father discovered the Millennium Ring, but it wasn't where he obtained the Millennium Ring. Now, due to his obsession, Bakura's father probably became more distant and less like himself, maybe even causing him to age faster. Now, according to Bakura, he searched for the Millennium Ring for many years, which would bring Bakura's age roughly from 9 years old to 12 or 13. And one night, Bakura, out of concern, decided to follow his father, and after many years of searching, he finds his secret hideout containing the Millennium Stone. Now we see from the clip of the Dark Side of Dimensions, when he arrives, he acts like a crazy person, not like a normal person at all. He has a bag full of money, which is probably his life savings, and he throws it at Shardy as a way to buy the Millennium Ring. Now what I find really interesting is, in the stone, there is another Millennium item, which is the Millennium Scale. However, in Bakura's father's eyes, that item is irrelevant, and he goes straight for the Millennium Ring. However, if he was truly acting as himself and not possessed by Zork, both items should have been of interest to him.
とうとう巡り会えたこの黄金のリングに
Now Shardy put him through the Millennium test, and he fails, and the Millennium Ring kills him. Sensing that his true host is close by, which is Bakura, who had followed his father. Even in his last moments, Bakura's father's last words were regarding the Millennium Ring, which just proves that Bakura's father was just a shell at that point. He didn't even question why Bakura was there, or care about his son's safety, or his own. I think at that point, Bakura's father was long gone, whittled away over time. And from that point, Bakura became the vessel of the spirit that resided in the ring. Now this was a traumatic memory for Bakura, losing his father, so Bakura simply changed the story in his own mind in order to deal with the trauma. So he tells his friends in the anime and the manga that his father had picked up the Millennium Ring from a market, as this was a story his father had told him, potentially at some point. And Bakura would prefer to tell this story rather than recount what had actually happened, which was his father dying in front of his own eyes. Now the conclusion of this video is that I don't think Bakura's story was a cover-up. I think both stories were connected, and it just took someone to piece the story together. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, so make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time guys.